ஆறு படைக்கப்பா ஓம் ஆறுபடை கப்பா நித்தியன் வாழும் நித்தியபுரி மலையே ஆறுபடை கப்பா ஆறுபடை கப்பா ஓம் ஆறுபடை கப்பா நித்தியன் வாழும் நித்தியபுரி மலையே ஆறுபடை கப்பா ஆறுபடை கப்பா ஓம் ஆறுபடை கப்பா நித்தியன் வாழும் நித்தியபுரி மலையே ஆறுபடை கப்பா ஆறுபடை கப்பா ஓம் ஆறுபடை கப்பா நித்தியன் வாழும் நித்தியபுரி மலையே ஆறுபடை கப்பா ஆறுபடை கப்பா ஓம் ஆறுபடை கப்பா நித்தியன் வாழும் நித்தியபுரி மலையே ஆறுபடை கப்பா ஆறுபடை கப்பா ஓம் ஆறுபடை கப்பா நித்தியன் வாழும் நித்தியபுரி மலையே ஆறுபடை கப்பா ஆறுபடை கப்பா.
ஓம் நித்யானந்தேஸ்வர பரமசிவ சமாரம்பாம் நித்யானந்தேஸ்வரி பரமசக்தி மத்யமாம் அஸ்மதாச்சார்ய பர்யந்தாம் வந்தே குரு பரம்பராம். I welcome all of you with my love and respects. I welcome all the living and practicing Hindus from all over the world. All the ministers, diplomats, ambassadors, citizens, consulate generals, Mantreshwaras, Vidyeshwaras, Ganeshwaras, Lokeshwaras, Astreshwaras, I welcome all of you with my love and blessings. Paramashiva's message directly from Kailasa. Fourth force, strong nuclear power, is the extension and inclusive of gravity, electromagnetic force, weak nuclear force, all its permutation combinations. Listen. The fourth force is not only extension, it includes all the other three. I wanted to remind all of you once more, Hinduism is cosmic science. It teaches you the whole life. மண்ணில் நல்லவண்ணம் வாழலாம், விண்ணில் நல்லவண்ணம் உறையலாம். மண்ணில் வாழும் அறிவியலும் விண்ணை ஆளும் அறிவியலும் சேர்ந்ததே சனாதன Hindu தர்மம். Listen. A blissful, happy life with all the auspiciousness in this plane, and the most auspicious, beautiful, powerful life in the higher planes. Hinduism teaches you the science of this. It's a cosmic science. Feel pride and feel blessed. You are born Hindu and are practicing Hindu. You have been given this powerful knowledge. You are the inheritors of this great, powerful knowledge. One of the worst crime done to humanity is teaching humanity that you have only one life. No. Listen to this carefully. Listen to this carefully. Telling you only we exist, human beings exist in this universe is stupidity. Telling you beings from the other planes, other universe, other parts of the universe are aliens is criminal, crime. Beings from other planes are neither aliens nor false. First of all, we are not alone on this universe. Second, beings from other zones and other universes are not aliens. They are our own version, little evolved. Our own version, evolved, are the Devas, Gana, Yaksha, Rakshasa, Rishi, Muni, Gandharva, all of them. Our transformed existence is Kailasavasis. I am not telling you any cock and bull stories. I am not giving you any theories, theologies. I am giving you a clear knowledge, truth as it is. I have come from Kailasa to introduce this cosmic science to the modern human beings, because modern human beings forgot this whole science. I am reviving this whole science. So listen. Last few satsangs I was talking about these four forces. Today I wanted to talk about fourth force and giving more understanding about the third force also. Everything you know about the nuclear power, quantum physics, parallel universe, everything which is established, this multiple existence, all of it put together is third force. Third force's imaginary fantasy extension. If you do a scientific fiction movie, sci-fi movie, based on all your understanding about the third force, it is fourth force. Listen. Till now, human beings have not decoded the fourth force in a concrete way. But the fourth force is all possibility of third force. Because it is all possibility of the third force, any science fiction movie you develop based on anything you know about the third force is a reality in the fourth force. Listen to that. I'm repeating. Any fantasy imagination you develop centered on the principles you know about the third force is part of the fourth force. Because the fourth force is everything you can imagine as an extension, transformation, multiplication of the third force and more. That's the fourth force. Let me give you some more understanding about the third force. Listen. Multiple universes, planes exist. That's the first thing. Pitruloka is true. When you leave the physical body, you carry your Karana Sarira, the causal body, your deep-rooted patterns, and reach the Pitruloka and live. I am not lying to you when I say, if your generations give you the Shraddha and Pinda only, you will be happy and have a social respect in the Pitruloka. I am not strategic or cunning or lying when I utter this word. I am uttering the truth. It's not that I wanted the Hinduism to spread and kept alive, so I am telling you this story. If Hinduism is not kept alive, planet Earth will not be there. Get lost. I have nothing to lose. I already renounced the planet Earth. I am in Kailasa. If you guys want the planet Earth, save it. I am here only to give you the truth as it is. Making it into the lifestyle is your responsibility. Listen. Especially the people who are already successful, having basic needs of your life fulfilled. Like you already have a spouse, kids, car, house, basic needs. All those people, those of you, it's your responsibility to create ecosystem for your next generations to understand, internalize the science of Hinduism, the cosmic science, the greater science, and keep it alive. I was so happy when I educated myself about this ISKCON's temple they are building in Mayapur. The temple of Vedic Planetarium, where they are describing the Vaishnavite Srimad Bhagavatam description of the multi-universes, the multiple universes, the different lokas. It's a Vaishnavite version. It's a Bhagavatam version. But I am so happy that they have attempted to make people understand about the existence of the multiple universes, the vertical time zones. Surely, I'll be giving the Vedic Agamic version of the multiple universes and building a temple to showcase to all of you and show you experientially how each initiation and power manifestation you can experience those vertical time zones like Devaloka, Pitruloka, Tapoloka, Satyaloka, the lokas of Yakshas, Kuberaloka, Indraloka, Chandraloka, Suryaloka, the different planets and planes. So understand this truth. When I say Pitruloka exists, it is true. You are not accidental. Evolution of some biological permutation, combination, good or bad, right or wrong. No. You are a conscious manifestation to celebrate, live your existence on this plane and in higher planes, vertical time zones. I am giving you the truth and my vision to create an ecosystem where this truth can be lived and celebrated. This is my sincere effort to make the Kailasa, whether the first Kailasa I manifested in Tiruchengodu or the Kailasa I am manifesting in multiple places now, or the Maha Kailasa I am manifesting. This is the vision. Vision is where human beings are given a very powerful supportive ecosystem where they are complete about everything related to this world: health, wealth, beautiful relationships, success, feeling empowered, enlightened, and know about the vertical time zone, multiple universes, and start experiencing it, preparing themselves to live in those spaces after they leave the body. Because life doesn't end when your body stops functioning. No. Life is so much more. Than you can even imagine, understand. Theosophy Society, Arabindo Ashram, Paramahamsa Yogananda, Osho, Maharshi Mahesh Yogi, ISKCON, Ramakrishna Mission, Sampradaya, all of them have sincerely trying to make the same vision in their own version. I am trying to create most updated, because now I know all the insecurities of these human beings, why something is successful and why something fails. Above all, time is in my favor. Age is in my favor. I am too young. I am only in early 40s. Whole life is in front of me. Already I have 41 Chaturmasya spiritual strength, 27 years of a spiritual socio experiences, working in the spiritual field with the society, 27 years of solid experience and expertise, 41 years of Chaturmasya, solid spiritual foundation, and I have my whole life ahead of me. This is the advantage I have. Let me express these truths so this vision can start manifesting in all of you. This third force and fourth force manifests in all of you. This is my vision for all my Kailasas. Whether it started in a container, I don't know how many of you know, the first Adinam, Tiruchengoda Adinam, started in a steel shed. That is why I always feel container is auspicious. Put container in any place, it will become Kailasa. Because the first Kailasa is container Kailasa. Only then the hut was built. There was a small steel shed which was used as a pump set, gifted to me by a devotee. That's when first I started staying. From there only I built the hut. So that is why even now, anywhere people give me, donate property, I tell them first put a container, plant a container, start container Kailasa. From there it will evolve. From container Kailasa to uncontainable Kailasa. The vision is same, where we provide an ecosystem for human beings to have a healthy, wealthy, blissful, complete life in this plane and enlightened, awakened life with the higher zones, vertical zones. Still, many of my vision is not yet unfolded into reality, but I have spelled out my vision very clearly. It will unfold when more and more collective integrity starts happening. For example, I wanted to evolve the Sambhavana system. The Grihasthas can make wealth for their personal life and expenses. Working for Hinduism, for Kailasa, like a win-win. You strengthen the Kailasa and you also get personal income. This was the vision I revealed maybe 2005 or 6 with a project called Anand Samaj. Is a kind of communities evolving everywhere. If we have people with more collective integrity, who take the responsibility for integrity of everyone, these systems can be successful. These things can be successful. A 10 family can join, take up a project, make it successful, have Kailasa strengthened, Hinduism strengthened, and the ecosystem strengthened, and you receive the personal income. All the things are fulfilled like a win-win. It is possible. It is possible, especially in the cities of India and the NRIs in Malaysia, Europe, US, Trinidad, Tobago, where the Hindus are the richest ethnic minority. If you guys start evolving this kind of Kailasas, you will create an ecosystem where your generations will have strong feeling connection with Hinduism. They will live Hinduism. They will manifest Hinduism. They will be giving you the Shraddha for generations, building the modern day Agraharams. Temple-centric communities, கோவில் பெருங்குடிகள். தமிழ்ல சொல்லணும்னா, மலையும் மலை சார்ந்த இடமும் குறிஞ்சி, காடும் காடு சார்ந்த இடமும் அது மருதம், முல்லை, நெய்தல், பாலைன்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. ஐம்பெரும் நிலங்கள்னு. காடும் காடு சார்ந்த இடமும், வயலும் வயல் சார்ந்த இடமும், கடலும் கடல் சார்ந்த இடமும், குறிஞ்சி, முல்லை, மருதம், நெய்தல், பாலை 5 நிலங்களை சொல்வார்கள். மலையும் மலை சார்ந்த இடமும் குறிஞ்சி. அது எனக்கு தெரியும். காரணம்னா நான் அந்த மலை சார்ந்த இடத்திலே பிறந்து வளர்ந்ததால். அதுபோல நன்றாக புரிந்து கொள்ளுங்கள். 6ஆம் நிலம் ஒன்று உண்டு, கோவிலும் கோவில் சார்ந்த இடமும் கைலாசம். Listen, temple-centric communities, temple-centric lifestyle, it's all just in each city few families need to have that collective integrity. It cannot be done through autocracy or democracy. Autocracy, democracy, all crazy. All just crazy. Democracy means the mass is cheated. that they are empowered by few autocratic individuals. Autocracy means people know openly they are being ruled and at least hold the rulers responsible. So this autocracy, democracy, all crazy. Neither autocracy nor democracy is going to work for the future. It's collective integrity, responsibilism only is going to work for the future. That's why the Kailasa, I am evolving a kind of a new responsible democracy. How I am evolving, all the temple volunteers will vote any issue related to running the temple. All the donors will vote any issue related to money. All the administrators only will vote any issues related to administrative policies. A temple volunteer, if he is volunteering for administration, also he will have 2 votes. He will have a vote in the temple related and administration related because he is involved in administration. If he is an SJP donor, he will have the voting, one more vote to involve and vote about the economic affairs. So the votes are given based on the responsibility, responsibilism. Responsible democracy evolves collective integrity. That's the way I'm evolving now. I'm actually sitting and penning down the whole principles, how the Kailasa should be run, the guidelines. I'm making it into a responsible democracy. If you are a temple volunteer, you spend certain number of hours maintaining temple, you have the right to vote everything related to temple affairs. If you are a donor, SJP Yajaman, you get 1 vote related to all the economic affairs. If you are a SJP Karta, you get 5 votes, all related to economic affairs. If you are volunteering in administration, you get vote to vote in all affairs of administration. If you are volunteering in garden, housekeeping, you get the right to vote in all the affairs of the gardening, housekeeping. Responsible democracy. That's the way I am evolving this Kailasa. These digital ecosystems and the spiritual ecosystems I am evolving all over the world. From that time, my gurus have handed over me the first ashram from Tiruvannamalai. Then I did the first ashram in Tiruchengodu. My vision for Kailasa is clear. As I said, மலையும் மலை சார்ந்த இடமும் குறிஞ்சி, காடும் காடு சார்ந்த இடமும் முல்லை, வயலும் வயல் சார்ந்த இடமும் மருதம், மணலும் மணல் சார்ந்த இடமும் நெய்தல், I think மணலும் மணல் சார்ந்த இடமும் பாலை, கடலும் கடல் சார்ந்த இடமும் நெய்தல். Then கோவிலும் கோவில் சார்ந்த இடமும் கைலாசம். We need to evolve Kailasa everywhere. I am seeing some of the successful Kailasas. Banu Patel has done a best Kailasa in Oklahoma. Because naturally she has a beautiful collective integrity team built for her business. See, the business network she built is all from the family, and they all have already built a collective integrity. That is why that the Kailasa Oklahoma is such big success. The best kept deities, most beautiful rituals. They all gather, sing, dance, happily, inspire, live Hinduism, do Garba dance, Bhagavad Gita, Guru Puja, Shiva Puja, spirituality, meditation, yoga, whatever they can. I tell you, they already formed a ecosystem where their generations will learn more and more about Hinduism and live, practice. Banu is very successful in evolving a very beautiful Kailasa ecosystem. Maybe little more enlightenment, education, knowledge, all that will happen in course of time. But the ecosystem is successful. I feel everywhere, every city, in US, Europe, even in India, if you guys start creating this Kailasa ecosystem, you will have your next generation following Hinduism, giving you Shraddha. You will have peace in Pitruloka. The Kailasa will evolve beautifully on the planet Earth. திரும்ப சொல்றேன். மலையும் மலை சார்ந்த இடமும் குறிஞ்சி, காடும் காடு சார்ந்த இடமும் முல்லை, வயலும் வயல் சார்ந்த இடமும் மருதம், கடலும் கடல் சார்ந்த இடமும் நெய்தல், மணலும் மணல் சார்ந்த இடமும் பாலை. ஏன் மெமரிலேயே கரெக்டா இருந்து இவனுங்க ரெஃபரன்ஸ் கொடுக்குறேன்னு சொல்லி துண்டு சீட்டு கொடுத்து என்ன குழப்பிட்டானுங்க. எப்பவுமே நம்ம மண்டையை நம்புறது தான் பெஸ்ட். துண்டு சீட்டை நம்பினோம்னா எனக்கு இந்த ரெஃபரன்ஸ் போடுற டீம் ஒன்று இருக்கு. அது நான் பேசும் பொழுதே ரெஃபரன்ஸ் கொடுக்கும். அது கொடுக்குற ரெஃபரன்ஸ் தான் கன்ஃபியூசிங்காக இருக்கும். எப்பெல்லாம் நான் என் பிரெயின் மெமரியை நம்பி சொல்கிறேனோ அப்பெல்லாம் கரெக்டாக சொல்லிடுவேன். எப்பெல்லாம் இந்த ரெஃபரன்ஸ் கொடுக்குற இந்த எழுதி கொடுக்குறவங்க சீட்டை நம்புறனோ அப்பெல்லாம் குழப்பி வச்சிருதுங்க. மலையும் மலை சார்ந்த இடமும் குறிஞ்சி, காடும் காடு சார்ந்த இடமும் முல்லை, வயலும் வயல் சார்ந்த இடமும் மருதம், கடலும் கடல் சார்ந்த இடமும் நெய்தல், மணலும் மணல் சார்ந்த இடமும் பாலை, கோவிலும் கோவில் சார்ந்த இடமும் கைலாசம். Every city on the planet Earth, we should create Kailasa. Every city we should create Kailasa. Kailasa lifestyle is a beautiful preparation for you to live comfortably in the higher planes, vertical time zones. When you go there, you won't feel cultural shock. You will not feel cultural shock when you go to the higher planes if you learn the Kailasa lifestyle here on the planet Earth. We just need some of the dedicated people. You see, you don't need cunningness, strategy to make Kailasa. You just need Tyagis, dedicated people who have a conscious stamina, will, persistence, making it happen. Will stay strong and make it happen, like Arishchandra, Satyavati, the Savitri, Satyavan Savitri. What a will, persistence. Nachiketa, will, persistence. A child fasting for 2.5 days without food and water is equivalent to an adult fasting for 2.5 years. Because for child, food is the only life, source of life. For an adult, there are multiple sources of life. His body has evolved to use multiple things as source of life. But for a child, food is the only source of life. And a child, Nachiketa, fasting for 2.5 days is equivalent to an adult fasting for 2.5 years with a will, persistence. Satyavan Savitri, Nachiketa, Arishchandra, what a will, persistence. We need just few people with that kind of a conscious stamina, will, persistence to create collective integrity, to make collective integrity for Kailasa to happen. They become the foundation of Kailasa's evolution. Not any efficient, cunning, strategic, no. It is dedicated, tyagis. Earlier, the Kailasas are like luxury. But now, it is survival need. I'm seeing so many people messaging this Meda Slatya, so many people. Oh, I want Kailasa in Kashmir, I want Kailasa in Guwahati. All you guys, stop wasting my time if you can't take the responsibility. Meda Slatya, you don't need to be independent. You just need a conscious will, conscious stamina, will persistence. Go to Adi Kailasa, get trained, renounce your luxurious, hypocritical, criminally negligent lifestyle because your ancestors did not do the tyaga. Kashmiri Pandits are suffering and Hindus lost Kashmir. Don't continue to be criminally negligent. Decide to dedicate on stupid ideas about life. Go to Adi Kailasa and have the basic training. Then carry that ecosystem to Jammu and Kashmir and start manifesting, reviving. Do what need to be done. Nobody is interested in your crybaby stories. Nobody is interested in your criminal negligent lifestyle. Or just disappear from my eyes. Go and live as you want. Don't waste my time and get the karma of Guru Aparada. Wasting Guru's time. When I give a vision, everyone says, oh, I want to do, I want to do. Come on. There is a clear system I have evolved. Procedure. There are ecosystems which is functioning. It's not that those ecosystems are perfect, but it is budding. Go there, see what all can be done. Right, wrong, good, bad. In that, learn the conscious stamina, will, persistence. Then take that to the different places we have. You don't even need to take the risk of buying new properties. We have multiple properties all over the world. You can go and start planting in any of our properties without any risk. Once you are successful in Adi Kailasa, in our properties, then go and do it in your city. There is a clear system and successful in multiple places. Instead of doing the responsibility, just lying to yourself and to me, oh, I want to do this in Jammu, I want to do this in Kashmir, I want to do this in Guwahati, I want to do this here, I want to do that there. No. If you want to do it. If not, be criminal, negligent Hindu, rot. As I told you, the Hindus should know their negligence has crossed the level of casual unattending or just blinded by the consumeristic lifestyle. All that level is over. Now it has gone to criminal negligent level. If you get out of your criminal negligence and create Kailasa ecosystems in every city, the next generation of Hindus are going to be there. And I don't want to say the otherwise. What will happen? I don't want to utter through my mouth. Because I have to make it happen. I don't have a choice. If you join along with me, I'll do it with you. If you don't, I'll do it without you. If you oppose, I'll do it in spite of you. But I'll do it. I'll make it happen. வந்தால் உங்களோடு வராவிட்டால் தனியாக எதிர்த்தால் உங்களையும் மீறி செய்தே தீருவோம் பரமசிவ கைலாசம். Listen. We need to address seriously these few issues in the Kailasa ecosystem. One, the most important, the ecosystem should be self-sustaining. Second, a separate male sannyas order, female sannyas order, grihastha order. All these three separate. Third, system where the grihasthas can make personal income. Some method of sambhavana where they make enough personal income for their personal expenses. Either a common project, a for-profit project is made successful. Running a restaurant or running a hotel, motel, or running even enriching and causing very professionally. There are multiple possibilities. Hinduism has some of the most beautiful, sure shot, result-based products. Yoga, life solutions. You can share all this. And wherever Paramashiva allows, you can make money. The money can be made. Where he does not allow money to be made, we can't. Following the economic policies of Paramashiva, we can make a beautiful ecosystem for grihasthas to make personal income. This is the third point to be addressed. Fourth, responsible democracy in evolving all the policies of those Kailasas ecosystem. If this simple four fundamentals are maintained, not only Kailasa will flourish, you will have an amazing ecosystem for it to continue forever. So the sannyasis will have Maheshwara Puja by the generation of sannyasis, sannyasa parampara, and they will be happy in Kailasa and Pitruloka, wherever they reach as per their karmas. If they were living as sincere, integrated sannyasis, they will straight reach Kailasa. If they had messed up, then they will reach only Pitruloka. If they are completely messed up, then Brahmarakshas. That is up to them. All the Grihasthas will have their generations beautifully living Hinduism and giving Shraddha to you for generations. So you will be happy in Pitruloka or Kailasa, wherever you reach. These are the fundamental, practical truths. This is enough for the Kailasa ecosystem to manifest. Living in the Kailasa ecosystem will make you manifest the third force, because continuously you will be getting the powerful clicks. You will have a very peaceful life. I'll repeat, these four things need to be addressed for any successful Kailasa. Separate place for male sannyasa order and female sannyasa order, which will include their own temple, their own gurukuls for that gender. Male sannyasa order will have the male sannyas gurukul and the temple run by them. Female sannyasa order will have female gurukul and temple run by them. Goshala for themselves and library for themselves. Two separate ecosystem, and the grihasthas separate. Grihasthas will have their own library and their own temple, their own goshala or any other projects. All three separate campus so that each one's ecosystem is not disturbed by the other's ecosystem. Only then all three will be successful. If not, all three will go through idiotic comparisons, land into criminally destructive mental setup. Grihasthas feeling jealousy about the sannyasis and sannyasis feeling, sannyasis comparing themselves to grihasthas is extreme stupid. Criminal negligence and crime itself. So all the three separate campus. That's the first thing to be taken care. Second, most important, grihasthas should have a win-win, successful way of earning personal income, so they don't need to expect anything from the outer world or from the administration. They have their own independence and what they call as security for their future and all that. So they are economically not dependent on anybody else. There are tons of systems, business opportunities can come up. Third, responsible democracy with collective integrity. Responsible democracy with collective integrity. Fourth, continuous intense inspiration. Living Kailasa. That fourth job, I'll do it continuously. I think these are the four major things will make any Kailasa ecosystem successful and expanding. Based on these principles, you can create in each city on your own. It is not necessary all the Kailasavasis have to have houses just in one campus. No. It can be near around the temple. You can settle down around the temple. For example, there are so many people, devotees who have settled down around the LA temple, Los Angeles temple. They are not in one campus, or it's not that owned by the central organization or anything. It's all their houses. But they have settled down around the Kailasa, Los Angeles. You can settle down around the Kailasa, San Jose, driving distance or walking distance, and start developing collective integrity. Start developing separate campuses for men and women. The responsible democracy with voting rights and collective integrity. This will make Kailasa ecosystem everywhere.
Nithyanandam, Om Nithyanandaya, Nithyanandam, 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 Om Nithyanandaya, Nithyanandam, Nithyanandam, Om Nithyanandaya, Nithyanandam. Nithyanandaya, Nithyanandam, Nithyanandam, Om Nithyanandaya, Nithyanandam, Om Nithyanandaya, Nithyanandam, Nithyanandam, Om Nithyanandaya, Nithyanandam. Nithyanandaya, Nithyanandam, Nithyanandam, Om Nithyanandaya, Nithyanandam, Nithyanandam, Om Nithyanandaya, Nithyanandam, Nithyanandam, Om Nithyanandaya, Nithyanandam, Nithyanandam, Om Nithyanandaya. नित्यानन्दाय नित्यानन्दम् ॐ नित्यानन्दाय नित्यानन्दं नित्यानन्दम् ॐ नित्यानन्दाय नित्यानन्दम्
So, let me repeat the 4 points I was giving as my vision. For a successful Kailasa ecosystem, with a clear description and definition, first point, all the 3 orders to have a separate campus, like male sannyas order, female sannyas order, grihastha order, all 3 self-sustaining. See, when I say male sannyas order, it includes all the individual single male, like Rudras, Bhairava, Sannyasi, Brahmachari, Vanaprasthi, all the orders where an individual lives life with himself. That all that male orders, one campus, including the male Gurukul. Next, female orders. The female orders are like Brahmacharini, Sannyasini, Vanaprasthini, not Rishika. Rishikas are more like a Grihasthas. Rishikas are married. So here the Vanaprasthinis are in some tradition even Vanaprasthis live together, husband and wife. But if the spouse is dead or divorced and you take Vanaprastha, you live alone. All the single female, including the female Gurukul, that as on campus, in that Rudraganya, Yogini, Bhairavi, all the female single sampradayas, and the Grihasthas, all 3 separate campus, self-sustaining, with their own temples, their own Gurukuls, their own Goshala, their own agriculture unit, self-sustaining. That's the first step. Second step, where Grihasthas are able to generate personal income through all the allowed business by Paramashiva. Paramashiva has given a clear list of allowed business where you can make money, sattvic money. All the allowed businesses can be explored. And private income, personal income is generated. Where it's like a win-win. You strengthen the Kailasa and Kailasa also strengthens you. Win-win. The third point is responsible democracy of collective integrity. where people who are responsible for that departments, that ministry, only has a right to vote the issues related to that ministry. So all the mess ups of the democracy is eliminated. Criminal negligence can be minimized or drastically reduced, literally removed. And the fourth point is intense spiritual inspiration, experiential Kailasa lifestyle. This four will make successful Kailasa ecosystems all over the world. We should think and work to make the Kailasa ecosystems all over the world. So all of you contemplate on this. I'll reveal more depth and details about third force and fourth force in a very practical, implementable ways. So with this, we will have darshan later. I'll announce the time of the Paramashiva darshan. Now it's already late for all of you to go to bed. It's 11:36. So with this, I bless you all. Let's all radiate with integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching, causing, living Paramadvaitam, Shuddhadvaita Saivam. The state, space, powers, being, superconsciousness, and Kailasa of Paramashiva, Paramashivoham, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham, the eternal bliss, Nithyananda. Thank you. Be blissful.
Nithyanandam Om Nithyanandaya Nithyanandam Om Nithyanandaya Nithyanandam Nithyanandam Om Nithyanandaya Nithyanandam Om Nithyanandaya Nithyanandam 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 Om Nithyanandaya Nithyanandam Nithyanandam Om Nithyanandaya Nithyanandam
pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasanidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasukhanam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadasham Tattvamasya Lakshmyam Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Let's go through the disclaimers. Security measures. No photography, video, audio recording. Important cautions. Please be aware of the important cautions. What is spa manifestation? Let's hear from Bhagavan himself explaining what is spa manifestation.
In your whole being and doing, manifest all the powers. Understand, power manifestation is nothing but cognitive shift. It is not work. It is cognitive shift. Understand? It is just cognitive shift. It's not work. Work is a 4-letter word. Power manifestation is cognitive shift. Playing with life. Playing with being alive. Static matter, dynamic activity, strategic existence, all these three has no boundary. You are one with it. You are alive in everything. Everything listens to you. Everything decides as you want. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, raising your frequency, not work.
Beautifully, Bhagavan Paramashiva said how power manifestation is cognitive shift, nothing to do with inaction with the mind or the body, but something beyond that happens to us as reality. Command over the future, command over the reality. Simply we can manifest all that and much more. It's a science because millions have experienced that and each one of us can experience that. Science of our manifestation is authentic, time-tested, scientific and foolproof. The pramanas, the evidences for the power of sarvanyatva, the evidences are given to give us the cognitive shift to manifest as powers. Shastra Pramana, the eternal unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures, the Vedas and the Agamas. Apta Pramana, the experience and the results of the Aptas. Aptas are the Rishis, Munis, Ganas, Nainamas, Alvars, Siddhas. All of them are authority of Hinduism, manifesting all the powers of Paramashiva, which is authentic, time-tested, scientific and foolproof. Atma Pramana, account of His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, this millennium's avatar's personal experience, Bhagavan's very own Leelas. Shakshi Pramana, the experience of the millions of devotees, disciples, followers all around the world, initiated by Bhagavan, manifesting all the powers of Paramashiva. Bhagavan beautifully says, all his initiation, powerful cognition, becomes reality in the Kailash courtyard when he himself resides, more present than us, when we unclutch into the oneness space, simply manifesting through each one of us as our reality. Paramashiva is real as our consciousness. Pratyaksha Pramana, the scientific study measuring the effect of being in an enlightened state. Bhagavan gives the scientific study to make us understand the depth of this cognition starts happening when we know the science that we already are, our cognition is aligned. When we know that it is aligning to the science, simply we start understanding the higher reality much more simpler way. When we understand the quantum physics, string theory, and the mirroring neurons and neuroplasticity, we understand how our brain can manifest the frequency as our reality instead of just matter that we live in the materialistic world. Beautifully, Bhagavan gives the Shastra Pramana from the Sarvanyatma Agama, verse 15. For the power of Sarvanyatva, the Shastra Pramana. The Shastra Pramana are the eternal, unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures as Vedas and Agamas. This is from Saravanyata Agama, verse 15.
Verse 15. Bhagavan Paramashiva translates.
तु एवमेकात्मभावेन संस्थितस्य तु योगिनः सर्वज्ञत्वं प्रवर्तेत विकल्परहितस्य तु.
Bhagavan Paramashiva beautifully says, within such a yogi who established himself an absolute non-dual oneness with Lord Shiva and who keeps himself free from all sorts of differentiating notions, the exalted power of all-knowing Sarvajñatva, reality, living in a community, the Vata Varana, is more important. Simply we align to the higher consciousness. Bernard Shaw, Bhagavan says, was in a different place all his life and he moved into a different community. Just when people asked, why did you do that? All he said was, only if I move into a place where people live more than 100 years, I will be in a space of living healthy for 100 years. It is the Vata Varana which makes a big component in our consciousness, how we perceive the world, where we live, who we talk. Bhagavan beautifully says, who you crib matters a lot because you are taking the inputs from them. And when we only associate with the outer world, we are going into more delusion and more materialistic, not knowing how we are deluded even. But when we live in the higher consciousness space, we start understanding the higher reality. Bhagavan beautifully gives a reference of the Zen master who dresses up very nicely, all his coats and suits, and then he goes to sleep. When his disciple asks, why are you wearing all this to go to sleep when everybody retires to sleep? Beautifully he says that I don't know who I am when I wake up, because who is that which is me? Experiencing that oneness space, the ultimate space of oneness, if you understand how you exist as a frequency, as a spirit, as a consciousness, you will understand the higher existence, how you can manifest the greater reality. Just living as your body and materialistic world, we are only in the birth and death cycle of the mind. Again and again going through the birth and death of the mind, which is painful, which is horrible, which is root shock, which gives us all the traumas, and we have to wake up from that in a very miserable way. Instead, if we understand the higher consciousness is nothing but Paramashiva is real and Bhagavan himself waking us up into the reality and merging and surrendering to Bhagavan's lotus feet every moment, we start recognizing our higher self is Paramashiva and wake up to that reality. What you search, you get the feedback in cosmos. For that, you attract that. You gravitate into that. If you understand that you are not just the body, even that body, you don't use it fully. Bhagavan says how the sarira, how you exist in the deep sleep in a different sarira and in the dream state in a different sarira. You don't know that you are sleeping. You are in the dream going out with all your friends and families. So you are in a different sarira. Same way in the deep sleep, there is no seen, seer, nothing exists, but you know it exists. You are in a different sarira, the karana sarira. And when you are leaving your body, again you take up the karana sarira and you go into the pitraloka and whatever needs to be happening there. If you understand, you don't have to carry the mind all through all this state and continuously get into the delusion again and again. We know we can drop it, which is not no use to anybody and not you. And all that suffering that you're doing is only your own cognition that you are that. Like a wave, Bhagavan gives an example. how the wave collects the shells, collects the crabs, collects the sand and things. It can live forever, happily ever after. But before it could build anything, it is taken away from the ocean. Same way, if we understand, we are not just the wave, we are not just the body, we are the consciousness, Paramashiva, who we are. If we merge into that space, we don't have to again and again have the insecurity, incompletion, anger. All that is not us. The shell or sand or crabs is not us. The wave itself is part of the ocean. And as long as it thinks it is part, it is always going to feel insecure. If you know that you are the ocean, you become the oneness, the Paramashiva, you become subtler and subtler. You understand your quantum, how the whole universe is in a different frequency where you can manifest your reality, including your body, as you want, how you want, where you want, in the dimensions that you want. The possibility is just how it is happening even now. We have to recognize what we are doing right now in us. Even now, Bhagavan says, you are Paramashiva, you are consciousness, reflecting and manifesting. Only a screen is blinding you for not looking at who you are. When you remove the blinds, you will understand that you are Paramashiva, and that is the very existential reality. Why we came to planet Earth, why we took the human birth, why in 8 billion people we are initiated by Bhagavan himself, God himself who has come as Guru. And surrendering to him, we'll understand the higher reality. Your mind cannot grasp it. If it can grasp infinity, it should be greater than infinity. So dropping the mind and catching the infinity as the ultimate space, the quantum space, is all Bhagavan is giving us through the power manifestation. This simple exercise gives us the breakthrough that we are consciousness. We are not just the matter. The Apta Pramana, how Bhagavan has given us all the greatest theories and understanding to make us understand we are consciousness. The story of the Babarik, he was one of the greatest warrior who did so much of penance and tapas, and he was born son of Gatokacha and the Nagas, and his mother trained him and he did a penance and he got the boon of the bow and arrow, 3 arrows, very strange but very powerful. He can shoot the arrow and simply the arrow will go kill all the people in the enemy side and come back and stay with him. There's such a powerful arrow and bow that nobody has known to attack it. So Krishna placed the Leela in Mahabharata that he asked him to test him to go and take all the leaves from the tree, hiding one leaf under his leg. And he thought, how will they know? And simply Babrik came and said, I know that you have a leaf under your leg. Please remove your leg, otherwise your leg will be hurt. He says this to Krishna, Vishnu. And when Krishna moves, it takes off the leaves. And then Krishna sees he has a boon that he will support, that he gave a vow to his mother, he will support the weak side. But whichever side he supports, they will be the winner because it will go and kill everybody. So he kills Barbarik and Barbarik says, please let me watch the whole thing, Mahabharata war. And he sits as just how the drome is. His only head is on the mountain where he is placed. And he watches the whole Mahabharata and witness the whole thing, including the Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita. He listens to the whole science, how we have the drome. It's still not understood how he's made. And they still, North India found his skull and they celebrate him as Durga Devi herself. The beautiful space of how these greater science, and whether we don't know whether he is human or he was the artificial intelligence, first artificial intelligence that happened on planet Earth. He had such beautiful powers to go beyond. Here Bhagavan explains about how we can go beyond the child tantrum that we are constantly engaging, all the differentiating notions that we have, and how we can go beyond that in Atma Pramana to manifest the powers of Paramashiva.
The more conversation you have, more frustrated you will become. Because the tantrum throwing child is not debating with you, he is protesting against you. So the more you engage that child in dialogue, more you try to engage that part of you in conversation, the more you will become frustrated. More the tantrum throwing child will become empowered. If there is a light, in front of that light I am doing some shadow games. How they do the shadow games, moving their fingers through that, they create shadows, and that's through the shadows they tell stories, the shadow stories in shadow games. In this shadow game, one lion and one deer, both of them are fighting. The lion is attacking the deer. You feel so painful and compassionate, you just wanted to save that deer from the lion. What's the best way? Switch off the light. Don't try to strengthen the deer. Don't try to supply weapons to the deer. Don't give rifle to the deer. Don't attack the lion. All that will be stupid. You will be attacking your own hand, which is doing the shadow game. Just switch off the light. Then the whole shadow game loses its power. Same way, the tantrum throwing child in you is empowered when you engage in dialogue with that child. When you try to logically analyze with that child, reason with that child. If you tell that child, come on, all the time you are throwing tantrum, you don't go to office, you don't want to work in the house, you don't want to do completion, then what are you going to do? That is what empowers that child. You considering the child as an entity, you trying to complete with that child, you trying to deal with that child, empowers that tantrum throwing child. Leads to frustration of the tantrum throwing child and of you, frustration of you. Only thing you need to do, just sit. Yes, part of me is a tantrum throwing child. It is sitting like a butter on the fire. The fire is me, the space of completion. Just sit. Don't have the greed. The tantrum throwing child should melt away immediately. Don't have that fear what that stupid child is going to do to you and what all you have to go through. Nothing. When you sit in the banks of Ganga, silently, automatically there will be rain, shine, Ganga level raising up, down, you will, even if you don't enter into the Ganga and take bath. Just sit on the space of your completion with the tantrum throwing child, which is part of you. Suddenly you will see the tantrum throwing child, which is part of you, just melts away. After 2 days, you will not even be able to remember that part of you, which is all the time throwing tantrum. Understand the lesson I learned from that session, exactly what is happening. I wanted all of you to do that process. This is one of the core truth about completion. Understand? All of us carry the professional protesting child who just doesn't like anything, doesn't want anything, doesn't feel good with anything, doesn't feel homely with anything, doesn't like anything. Only it wants to break everything. Marriage, break it. Family, break it. Job, break it. House, break it. Spirituality, break it. Completion, break it. Anything it sees in front of its eyes, it just want to break it. It just want to break it. That's all. Sit with that child. knowing clearly, your completion is powerful enough when you sit with that child as that child. Don't even try to complete that child. Yes, this is the way part of me is. Just sit with that child. Don't have any dialogue. Don't even think, plan to complete that child. Don't think to relieve all that. Not even a completion process. Just sit with that child and know very clearly your completion space will melt down that child. You will see like a butter melting down. That incompletion, suddenly it will happen in like a fraction of a second. You will be in a different space. That heaviness, that load of that child is no more there. Not even that child is dead, that child is evaporated. Understand? It does not even die and leave its dead body. It just gets evaporated. I saw the day. The moment I started holding my space of Advaita, I could see like in the hot pan, the moment you put the butter, how it becomes ghee in few seconds. Same way, all these guys, their incompletion just evaporated. In a hot pan, if you put a handful of ice, not only it will become water, it will become steam. Same way, I saw all these guys just, their incompletions, the tantrum throwing child is evaporated. Listen. The Advaitic space is not my property. Understand? I am a wholesale dealer, but I am not proprietor. It is not my own property. All of you have it. All of you have that inside you. So decide to sit with your Advaitic space and with your tantrum throwing child. Actually, you are nothing but the fight between your tantrum throwing child and your Advaitic space. Unfortunately, you think you own the tantrum throwing child because he makes more noise. An Advaitic space is very silent and polite. Because of that, you think he is not there. Sit with the clarity. Your Advaitic space will melt down, evaporate the tantrum throwing child you are carrying. Just in few seconds, the tantrum throwing child will evaporate. It will not be there anymore. Today I wanted all of you to do this process. Take at least 21 minutes and sit. Of course, all the inner awakening participants I will be guiding today, you guys will do. Already you have done it. You have done it, and we will be doing further different levels of completion. But all the satsang participants, satsangis, don't miss this process. Sit. Sit with yourself for 21 minutes and
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained how, when the tantrum throwing child, all the incompletion comes right on us, when we just unclutch and understand we are not touched by anything. Those which are coming into our reality is just a happening. All that is not us. The self does not understand anything. How in the dream it happens, and when you wake up, there is nothing that happens. You are completely in the space of oneness. You are, even people who get amputated sleep in the deep sleep the same way anybody is sleeping who is completely calm. So nothing touches us. That is the reality. That is what Bhagavan says. If you are in the space of oneness, the Advaita, the conscious, the quantum, the string theory, how it manifests in the atoms and protons and electrons, we are one and the same. If there is, you can't say my atom is different shape or your atom is different shape. It is all the frequency which is vibrating. When you understand you are a frequency, you're not just the materialistic world, you're not just the body, the matter. The body does not understand anything. If you keep a cup of sweet juice, sweet lime, the cup doesn't recognize it. Same way the body does not recognize it. Then who recognizes it? If you say the mind recognizes, the mind doesn't even exist. It is a processor. It's like saying the computer recognizes a cup of coffee. It cannot recognize. It is the picture which is appearing on the computer or whatever is happening on the computer. The processor does not understand. The computer does not understand, but it is happening in the computer on the screen. Bhagavan says the screen is untouched by whatever is happening. Same way, you are untouched. You are Paramashiva, you are consciousness, who's manifested as the experience. Attest that you are experiencing as consciousness, but the five senses itself doesn't have any reason to experience anything. It doesn't come back and say, give me more juice, I like it. The tongue does not say it, because you are not just the body, the materialistic world. You are the consciousness. If you understand that and become complete with in oneness with Paramashiva, empty, how you are in deep sleep, you will start downloading all this greater science. Here, Ma Durgananda has shared in Shakti Pramana. She says, yesterday, Kai, for the first common test, English composition and additional math, he told Swamiji to download the memory of the author to him. He was writing many flowery words that he didn't even know. And math, Kai received Bhagwan's blessing before he attempted the paper. Swamiji, take care of everything for for this boy. Beautifully, she shares how he downloaded just being empty. All the kids are naturally empty, and simply they are able to download all this greater truth just like that. All this greater science is already in us as the space of oneness with Paramashiva. Now let's sit straight with the head, neck and spine in a straight line and understand the greater truth, how Paramashiva is real.
Set up the camera.
If you can switch on the camera. If you have the Kantamala, you can apply the Jnananjan in your third eye and your temple. You can write down some questions that you have no idea. You want to download about string theory, about gravity, electromagnetic force. You want to know how greed and gravity is connected, or the fear and electromagnetic force is connected, how the powerful cognition, what is this Nirvikalpa Samadhi, all this question, whatever you want, but write down in the sense that you can Google and get the answers. Don't write something which you would just get the answer, but you can Google and verify it so that you know it is the download which you have no idea, but it is happening to you. All this greater science Bhagavan is giving us to make us understand the greater truth, greater reality. Paramashiva is real. Now let's sit straight with the head, neck and spine in a straight line. Visualize Paramashiva Sundareshwara in your third eye and all his words. Each of Bhagavan's words is a mantra. It just does not get into your logical brain, but also cleanses and makes you understand the higher Kailasha brain into you and simply manifest the higher reality. All the words from Bhagavan is not just words, it's mantra. Any satsang you listen any number of times is like listening to the mantra. How you sit in meditation and listen to mantra, the Om chanting or any mantra, same way Bhagavan's words is more powerful mantra which penetrates you into making you a higher reality itself. Again and again, listening to Bhagavan's satsang makes you the eternal being just by listening to his satsang. Visualize Paramashiva, sit as Parashakti, Sundareshwara, whoever your Ishtadevata. It's not the label that you carry, but sit as Paramashiva himself. That is the reality, who you are. Your Guru Paramashiva says, and you are Paramashiva, you are reflecting consciousness. It's like when you go to the mirror and you see yourself, what do you see? You are that. You're not labeled that. You are that. When you entangle with Bhagavan in the quantum space, in this quantum oneness video, you are that. You are not reflecting, you are not labeled that. You are that. Absolute unclutching from everything that you know as you. How you unclutch and go to deep sleep. You have no thoughts, nothing, no mind, and you just go into the deep sleep, forgetting even your body. Same way, unclutch from everything that you know as you. And collective integrity, Bhagavan spoke the whole satsang. All of us holding this Paramashiva space will have more effect on each one of us experiencing the higher consciousness. Collectively sitting as Paramashiva, chanting the Mahavakya from the navel center with a deep listening, simply you can experience the Nirvikalpa Samadhi. and manifest all the powers of Paramashiva. Let's start manifesting the Paramashiva space, state, and powers and superconsciousness of Paramashiva, entangling with Bhagavan and experiencing the oneness. Sit straight with your head, neck, and spine in a straight line. Continuously chant the Mahavakya from your navel center with a deep listening, chanting and experiencing the oneness, the bhava that you're sitting as Paramashiva with 25 heads and 75 eyes and 50 hands, continuously in the oneness space, chanting the Mahavakya. Let's experience the power of Sarvangnatva.
Om Nithyananda Paramashiva. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashiva. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashiva. Om Nithyananda Paramashiva. Om Nithyananda Paramashiva. Om Nithyananda Paramashiva. Om Nithyananda Paramashiva 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up. Om Nithyananda Paramashiva Om Nithyananda Paramashiva Om Nithyananda Paramashiva Om Nithyananda Paramashiva Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashiva 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 Om Nithyananda.
So beautiful. Slowly open your eyes. Whatever you have written down, verify it. Google and verify the answers. all this greater truth, Bhagavan is telling us that everything that we know is not just from the five senses, even that we know from five senses, is because it is reiterated into us. All the great Mahatma, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Ramana Maharshi, and Mahapariva, all of them, Bhagavan himself, are Ega Sandagragi. Any difficult text, just one time listening, they can repeat everything verbatim. Mahapariva knew about 40 languages. Just one time listening to the Malaysian language, he repeated that back to that person, and the person was so shocked. Same way, when first Hanuman met Lord Rama, Hanuman asked Lord Rama in 9 grammar in Sanskrit the questions, and Rama simply downloaded and answered so beautifully that Hanuman just melted. All these great saints are able to just download any language, any knowledge just from the oneness space. Paramashiva is real and he is manifesting in us as reality. Again and again, not giving up that space, but adamantly holding that space. Bhagavan says, arrogantly hold that space, that Paramashiva is real, and make sure Paramashiva manifests in you as all that and auspiciousness, abundance, and all-knowing just by connecting to Paramashiva in the unclutched space. Anything you declare in the unclutched space becomes a reality. When you are in the deep samadhi, the nirvikalpa samadhi, where you have lost the body consciousness, the thought, whatever is happening, you just surrender to Bhagavan's lotus feet by unclutching. Again and again, when you unclutch from the understanding that you are Paramashiva, you are Parashakti, who the creator of the whole universe and whole loka, you will understand that all these mere thoughts does not disturb you. When you surrender again and again to Bhagavan's lotus feet, you raise into the powerful space of consciousness. You remove the screen that it is stopping you from recognizing who you are, and more looking in who you are. Collectively, all of us, as Paramashiva is real, we start recognizing, Bhagavan says, recognizing is recognizing ourselves that we are Paramashiva. We are not just the body, the materialistic world, or just the mind, which is just the processor putting us into different states of consciousness. It is an action. It cannot do anything other than putting us into a space where it has to function. So all that we need to understand is Paramashiva is real. Paramashiva is manifesting through me as all auspiciousness, all knowing, Sarvajñatva. If we hold that powerful space and chant the Mahavakya continuously with a deep listening, the chanting raises the frequency, listening brings the thoughts down. And more when you surrender to Bhagavan's lotus feet in unclutching and entangle with Bhagavan in the quantum space, the mirroring neuron that you are in the oneness space simply will grasp and makes you understand. Simply the thought will happen to you that this is what it is, and you can simply download that as reality. So let's have one more cycle, few minutes. Put away your gadgets. Let's all collectively hold that Paramashiva is real and chant the Mahavakya, getting absorbed into Paramashiva in most authentic space of oneness. Let's start chanting with a deep listening.
Nithyananda Paramashiva Om Nithyananda Paramashiva Om Nithyananda Paramashiva Om Nithyananda Paramashiva Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us.
Paramashivoham, Paramashivoham, Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eye. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Om Nithyananda Paramashivam. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our burdens. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eye. Om Nithyananda Paramashiva. Om Nithyananda Paramashiva. Om Nithyananda Paramashiva. Om Nithyananda Paramashiva.
So beautiful. Whatever prasada you received, please go ahead and share in tinyurl.com/power-manifestation your experience on powerful cognition, power manifestation, your questions, your suggestions, everything you can post, and thank Bhagavan for all this greater truth and making it as reality in our life, transforming our life slowly and making us recognize our own self as Paramashiva, the greatest gift that Bhagavan is downloading in each one of us. Thank Bhagavan. All that we can do is thank Bhagavan again and again for all that greater signs He is giving us and getting us out of all the miseries, problems, and giving us the ultimate bliss and surrendering to Bhagavan's lotus feet as highest gift that He is offering, and He is recognizing that as our deep desire and blessing us with that. That is the most biggest gift that we can have, is letting us to surrender at His lotus feet. And beautifully, all this that you have experienced, share it in your social media, tag it to your friends and family, or in tinyurl.com/power-manifestation. And you can offer even the lowest currency as the dakshina. Whatever you offer to Kailasha, simply the auspiciousness, abundance, and fulfilling that Kailasha is real becomes in your inner space. More and more we start enriching, causing others reality, contributing for the higher cause. Paramashiva is real. We become that. That is all Bhagavan is giving us through all these beautiful exercise. Simple integrity, simple obedience makes us recognize the Paramashiva in us. Thanking all of you, collective integrity, collective consciousness, creating such a beautiful space on planet Earth. And thanking Bhagavan in deep gratitude for all that showering and surrendering all this powerful cognition, power manifestation at Bhagavan's lotus feet. And with a deep earning, Paramashiva as my thought, as my word, as my reality, holding everybody as Paramashiva as my reality, ending this session with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudashyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavate Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam Paduka Arpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you so much. See you in the next session after the darshan or the satsang in Kailash Courtyard.